Jeandra right here. Boxing.
Hi, Donna.
Hello. Boxing Insider. There's a clip that's circulating around from many years ago of Emmanuel Stewart saying he foresaw that this showdown. When he initially made those statements, what did that spark in you as a fighter, given his history of champion heavyweights and his long history in the sport?
Yes, I had the fortunate events to train with the late great Emmanuel Stewart, may he rest in peace. And as soon as I worked with him on the first day, he told me I was going to be heavyweight champion of the world. He even told Vladimir Klitschko, when Vladimir was world champion, he said straight to his face, he said, Tyson Fury is the heir to your throne. He said, he is the next heavyweight champion of the world. He said, I don't see anybody else. But then he also said, there's this young guy in America nobody's going on about. He's called Deontay Wilder. He said, I've trained him as well. He said, but at the minute he doesn't have a great training base. He said, as soon as he develops a solid training schedule, he'll come on as well. And he said, I see him as your main rival. He said, I don't see anybody else. And at the time there was quite a few unbeaten prospects coming through. Everyone was talking about knockout artists from all over the world. And he said, I don't see anybody with more mental strength than Tyson Fury. And he said, even at that stage when I was only like, say, 21 or 2 years old, he said, even if Tyson fought Vladimir now, he said, I couldn't pick a winner. And even though I'm Vladimir Klitschko's trainer at the time, he told him. And it all worked into my favour in going into the Vladimir fight because he had to hear all the way through his training camp and he played on his mind. There's a lot of mental stuff goes on in boxing. It ain't just brawn and power and strength. I believe boxing is 98% a mental strength battle.
And also one more question. When you make a lot to do about Wilder's physical build, his small ankles, you have a long history of knowing him and watching the evolution of his career. Yeah. Do you feel like he's evolved as a fighter, he's a one-dimensional fighter? What do you think of the evolution of him from the beginning to being a champion?
I've got to be very brutally honest, because I'm a very honest man and I speak from the heart. I think Deontay Wilder is an amazing person. I like what he's done with himself. He's changed his stars. He's come from nothing to having everything to be the heavyweight champion of the world. So I've got to respect that, respect him and he provides for his family like that. And as he's evolved over the years, he's had a lot of fights, 40 professional fights, he's come on and on and on and on. And in his last 5 fights since 2015, he has stepped up the competition. And he's become better and better. And I do believe he's an evolving fighter, Deontay Wilder, because he came into boxing so late and he didn't have the big amateur background. Although he did get a bronze medal for the country, he never had no vast experience in boxing on world level. So I believe he was learning on the job, and all those 40 professional fights have really helped him along the way on his skills. And I believe now he's at his best, he's at his most confident, and I'm going to use all of that to play against him.
Thank you.
Tyson.
Yep.
We know that Deontay Wilder has dropped off his opponent. Will you be the first one not to be knocked out or dropped?
100%. Everyone builds Deontay Wilder up. We look at the record, 40 wins, 39 KOs. But it's not the KOs, it's who you've KO'd. There's a guy who lives here in California called Chris Arreola, the Nightmare. And I spoke to the Nightmare personally, and he said he doesn't hit as hard as both Klitschko's. And he says, I will win the fight. And he's boxed Wilder. So he didn't knock Chris out, did he? Chris retired with an injury. He didn't even look like knocking Chris Arreola out. And then he made excuses after the fight saying this, that, and the other, my hand, my shoulder, whatever. He isn't this big knockout king that everybody thinks. A lot of people are going into the ring and looking for a comfy position on the canvas before they go in there. They're afraid. You think Deontay Wilder, big power, hits me, I fall down. I don't fear power. Klitschko had a massive knockout ratio going into our fight. He hit me bang on the chin, didn't matter. But the thing is, where I've got the mental edge on Wilder is, I've seen him knocked out before as an amateur. Nobody ever knocked me out as an amateur or professional. But I've seen him with a head guard on and big padded gloves being knocked out. So I believe I can emulate that performance and knock him out. The guy who knocked him out was about 5'10", weighing about 204 pounds. So I'm 6'9", weighing 260. And when he feels the ferocious right hand of the Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, his legs will buckle. And I keep going on about his legs and his ankles, because he has got very athletic build. Maybe he should have stuck to basketball, because he's definitely not going to be a fighter after I finish with him.